Season 9 of the finals just got revealed during the Grand Major. And while it might not seem like there's a lot here on first glance, no new guns, no new abilities, nothing crazy, we actually got something much better.
For Cashout, we're introducing a new system called Double Jeopardy. Doubling a cashout is still possible, but now it's a high-stakes event where the team that starts the double risk losing some of their cash if you don't finish the job.
That's right, Embark might have just fixed Cashout by adding Double Jeopardy, a way to try and minimize the impact doubling and griefing has on the game. So let's see what else we got and if it's going to be able to fix Cashout once and for all, so that the world's greatest game show can finally take its seat on the esports throne. Season 9 of the finals is called Dragon Rising and is themed after ancient and modern China. So the battle pass is full of these epic ancient characters as well as that amazing techwear drip that we love from the finals. We are also getting a new map or arena, Fang City. And just like my favorite map in the game, Season 7's Nozomi, this map is split and divided between two different themes. That is modern China and ancient China. While it does bring me a lot of pain to tell you that the ancient part of the map actually looks quite a lot like Kyoto, I do have hope and trust that it's gonna be a lot better than that map. Moving on, we got a new core mode. Now just to clarify, core mode does not mean ranked mode. We're gonna move on to the ranked mode just in a second. But this new mode is an 8v8 asymmetrical mode. So, right off the bat, 8v8, that is pretty crazy. That's already pretty exciting. Now, kind of hard to explain what exactly this mode is because, just like Embark always does, it has its own little spin. It's kind of complicated to explain. For those of you that play Battlefield, my friends told me that it's a lot like a mode called Rush in Battlefield. So if you know that mode, that's apparently a lot what it's like. It also sounds quite similar to something like Control Point from TF2 if you're OG like that, or in Marvel Rivals and Overwatch we also have these modes where basically the attackers need to capture a series of points, each one being further and further in the enemy's territory. So it gets progressively harder as the game escalates. Honestly, I'm really excited. Even though I am a final sweat and I don't really care for the casual modes as much, this is great. The finals really matches this kind of mode. We had great success when they introduced Terminal Shift. That mode works really great. Of course, the meta and everything is, wacky, but that's fine because it's a casual mode. You don't have to go meta game it. But yeah, I guarantee you this mode is going to play absolutely fantastic, especially with how much DNA the finals has inherited from games such as Team Fortress 2. And it's definitely going to be the mode I play the most if I'm just trying to have fun, relax, or play with friends. Moving on, we have a massive World Tour rework. Instead of being the casual version of Cashout, World Tour is now not even a mode anymore. It's basically your entire season journey. Every single game mode you play now, whether that's ranked, casual, or any LTMs, feeds into your progression in the World Tour. The way I understand it, you could basically get emeralds just from playing ranked, which is kind of sad because I really liked looking at who has emerald skins in my lobbies to see who are the bad low skill players. But the coolest thing about the new World Tour is this really sick world map. This both visualizes your progression in a really satisfying way and also lets you preview the whole seasonal content such as LTMs and other features they're gonna drop. Now if you're having a hard time picking your sponsorships in the finals, which is pretty easy, Holto and Ospuz are the best ones. If you pick Engimo, you're just kind of cringe. But anyways, if you're on the fence, you can now switch your sponsors all the time and instead you will get loyalty points. Now, finally, let's get to the big part of this update. The ranked changes. They updated the RS calculation to make it feel a lot more fair and more representative of your performance. Now, ranked and MMR calculations are always a hot topic in any game where they apply, and we don't really know exactly what it's gonna look like, but a lot of people quit or just had bad experiences with playing ranked because of how punishing the ranked system in the finals can be sometimes. They also said they're gonna make it a little bit more stable, so hopefully that means you won't get those minus 2k RS for getting first rounded in a bad lobby because you got griefed or something, but yeah, we'll see. But speaking of being griefed, this is the really big thing for most people, and that is they are trying a new fix for the big cash out issue, which once again is griefing, especially griefing by doubling at the end of the round. They added something called cash out double Jeopardy. Now, again, we're not quite sure exactly how it works. They've been quite vague so far, but there's basically more risk to doubling now. The team that is doubling is now basically at a risk to lose some money. So the number one team could probably now get eliminated if they double the money. Again, once we know the finer details of it and played a few rounds of it, the community will get kind of a feel for how balanced it is now and how much more competitive and fair it actually makes cash out. But I'm very optimistic and I'm just really happy to see such a change coming to the game. They've tried a few adjustments in the past. All of them were kind of like small little steps. This seems like it could really change the game. We also have some updates on the ranked rewards. Instead of getting fixed ranked rewards, you now basically earn ranked coins, which you can then use to unlock your own rewards at the end of the season, but all the old ranked rewards still stay exclusive. But yeah, this is pretty cool because, you know, it was kind of random what you were going to get. So, for example, if you were a player that never touched light, you know, you weren't going to grind rank to get some, like, you know, diamond sniper skin. You were just not going to do that. So I'm really happy to see that now, you know, whatever you're playing the most, whatever gun you like the most, you can now grind to unlock a specific skin for the class and for the gun that you really like. Now, we also have a quick preview of balance changes coming to the game. Again, we don't have the exact statistics and numbers right now, but here's a quick rundown. First up, and this is going to be a really big shift in the heavy meta, we have reworks to Dome and Winch once again. Winch no longer goes through Mesh and also not through Dome. That is insane, okay? It really changes the meta. I really can't wait to see how it actually shifts the meta, if it's basically gonna kill the Winch Claw. Probably not, because it still has so much value, especially for denying and stealing. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this works out. And I'm definitely happy to see a lot less Winch players because, you know, it's really annoying to get winched. Then we have a small buff to the KS-23. They basically made it more accurate. Amazing. I know, I can't believe it either. Embark actually making your shots go where your crosshair is insane. You know, they really, really hate doing that for some reason, but they did it with the KS-23. They said it's going to feel a little bit more like the BFR, and I can't wait for the KS-23 meta because it's such a cool skill-based weapon that really showcases your aim while also being, you know, quite viable at close range and having that utility function of breaking walls. We also have a small buff to the model by speeding up its tactical reload to make it feel a little bit more responsive. There's a lot more balance changes, of course, but we don't know about those yet. We also have some pretty cool quality of life improvements for cosmetic previewing. We can better look at stickers and we can finally randomize our skins. And here's a really big one that I'm actually really excited now. You can finally get a custom tablet. Right now, the skins that they showed don't look, you know, like anything crazy, but I really, really hope we get the Doom Scroll brain rot phone where we can scroll TikTok while placing a jump pad. It would be really hilarious. We also have a bunch of performance improvements across the board, which is really, really good to see, especially with a next gen game like the finals. You know, a lot of my friends simply can't play it because they do not have hardware that is good enough to run that game on more than like 2 FPS. They're also rolling out even more improvements to destruction. For example, small props now stick to the walls, which apparently improves performance, although it's kind of unintuitive. I would have thought if you just break off the small pieces, it would be less to calculate. But anyways, apparently this update to destruction makes it feel even more physical and satisfying, which is kind of hard to imagine because destroying shit in the finals is already so amazing and so satisfying. Another small thing that is actually kind of huge for me personally is you can finally opt out of replays. Because, yeah, it's really disorienting, especially if you're trying to play the game seriously when you cannot immediately switch to spectating and give info and all that. You have this weird, like, playback animation and everything, so that's great as well. The season releases on December 10th, so let me know how you feel about it. Are you going to be coming back to the finals? Did you never even leave in the first place? Or maybe you're like me and took a break from the finals because of the massive release of our creators. Either way, thanks for making it to the end of the video, and please subscribe so I can afford all the new cosmetics coming to the channels.